No sound. Never mind. That's fine. This was one of the videos I did prior to putting a sound on, which is cool. So Felipe, take it away.
Well, welcome everyone. Great to see have everyone here today to another Social Saturday chat. We are looking forward to having you all join us today about this topic about leveraging your video and podcasting to help you improve your brand. Whether it's your company brand, your personal brand, we're going to share some things that we've done in the past that have been successful and helped us leverage our brand to get opportunities, whether it's a job opportunity, a new client, new business opportunity. So we're hoping y'all are looking forward to joining us. We're hopefully going to have some more of our co-hosts join us today on this wonderful Saturday. It is the beginning of the holiday season, and Joel, your hair looks fine. And so for those of you that are just starting to join us, thank you for already being here. Andrea, it's great to see you. William, Bill, it's also great to see you. Melissa Houston was speaking very highly of the photos you were sending her. So kudos to you on that. And Tom Collin, great to see you. And Melissa Houston, my partner in crime, it's always great to see you as well. And those of you that are new to the show, feel free to join us when we invite you up on stage. And if you have not checked us out before, do me a favor and go to our LinkedIn homepage for Social Saturday Chat, and you'll go ahead and hit a follow button. And after you follow us, click that little bell in the top right-hand corner so that you get notified of all the events that we do here, but also all the events the other co-hosts do as well. So, and as far as the Saturday is concerned, I hope everyone is enjoying a nice Saturday. It might be cold right now outside the Washington, D.C. area. It is 30, well, almost 40 degrees right now. It snowed pretty much all day yesterday. And basically, we have a nice white covering, not too crazy. But what's nice is that it's a nice kickoff to the holiday season. Let me know in the chat if you are a holiday nut. Are you more of a Grinch? Or you just don't care. And because there's everyone has their way of enjoying the time period. Some like to go Griswold and decorate and have electric bills out of the wazoo. Others just like to be with family and celebrate by being together. Others like to be the Grinch. I have one friend that enjoys being the Grinch so much that they decorate their house Grinch style. So that's their way of getting into the season. But let me know if you are somebody who enjoys that and what you're doing in the comments, and also let us know where you're watching from. This community is a great place to share what people see. I know that Merrill shared this amazing video that he sent to me of this Santa train they have in New Jersey here in the U.S. And they do it every year. And basically, if any of you have seen the movie, oh my God, Polar Express, it kind of mimics the experience of the Polar Express. All the kids get on the train, they go on this train ride. It's all decked out for the holidays. The outside of the train has a wrap, that's says something about sweets and enjoy the sweets of the season or something like that. And the kids get a fun experience. Santa's on the train visiting all the kids. So let us know if you have anything special in your area. You can tell from my background, I am a holiday. I wouldn't say quite a nut. I'm half a nut, and so I enjoy it. My wife enjoys it. Her father was a big holiday person. My father enjoyed the holidays, not necessarily the decorations, but he enjoyed the tree and the lights. So between the two of us, we've decked out the house already. So that's one thing that's always fun to do. And honestly, that's part of my brand is enjoying the holidays and making the most out of them. Not so much for the materialistic things, but for the meaning behind them, the opportunity to get together with friends and family, and just be a little bit nicer to each other. So as far as that's concerned, I love the conversation going on here. David Pushkin, welcome. It's great to see you as always. Bill, it does not surprise me that you love the holidays. I can see you being a holiday night. Melissa says it's cold here and they have Godzilla atmospheric river coming. Okay. I need a little more details on that. Is that after the snow melts or what's going on there? And oh, Bill, especially since your grandson is 3 now, I honestly cannot tell you how much I look forward to the day that I have grandkids because I think that does bring back a lot of the magic of just the unknown and the fun And just seeing the look in the kids' eyes when they see the lights and the magic behind it, and everyone being a little bit kinder. So I think it's awesome. Leslie Flowers, it's great to see you from North Carolina. 42 degrees in North Carolina. It's getting a little chilly down there. And Meryl, again, thank you for sharing that video. It's a great video. So here in the DC area, I will share one thing that they do is there's a an area here where it's actually the Mormon temple that if you ever drive around the Beltway of DC, it's this massive white castle, like literally a white castle with this gold statue on top, and it's massive. You can't miss it. And unless you're of the Mormon faith, you're not allowed inside it's not called a castle. I call it a castle inside the temple or whatever it's called. But what they do is outside the entire area, they have all this land and all these trees and bushes. They literally light up every single tree and bush. And I'm talking about thousands with lights, color lights. And inside this one area, they have different nativity scenes you can check out. But the lights, even whether you walk through them or drive through them, it's just insane. So just sharing a little bit about what happens here. Love to hear what you all do. And with that being said, I think we should do some introductions because we do have Joel and I here with our lovely pets. Mine are right here. Bailey's right there. But Joel, why don't you introduce yourself and Bailey as well? And what do you do a lot of podcasting or video? Let people know.
Oh, Felipe, as you can see, I'm just cleaning my dog's teeth. I'm talking, but because I'm a drummer, I'm good at multitasking. It's no stranger to me. So my name is Joel. I'm a musician and business owner, helping change the world, how people see and perceive neurodiversity. And this guy here is Bailey. And yeah, I do a lot of podcasting. I've got multiple ways of I got when most of my podcasting happens online. Not by choice, but by the fact that everyone I seem to interview seems to be about 5,000 plus miles away. But before about a year ago, sorry, I just thought he wanted to go outside. So before, a year ago, I was using StreamYard. Then I switched to this. As podcasting goes, recording stuff, great, fantastic. Streaming, not quite so much, but as recording goes, the video quality is fantastic. But I also use when I'm talking on camera, I do tend to and interviewing my podcast, I do tend to use a DSLR. So I'm looking not at the screen, I'm looking straight ahead of me. So there's more editing for me to do.
That's awesome. Well, I thank you for sharing that, Joel. And I do think that for those of you who don't know, if you want to check out some of the past episodes of Social Society Chat, Joel is the person that has actually made them into podcasts on Apple, Spotify. You can search Social Society Chat and see some of the past episodes that we have done with amazing guests, topics, and networking events. But that touches on how Social Saturday Chat enhances their brand. It's not just the Saturday show, it's our LinkedIn homepage. It's the videos that we do promoting it. It's the podcast version of this that we do. So it's really helping us reach out because the reality is not everyone likes to watch stream. A lot of people like to listen to a podcast. Some like both. Some prefer to read. So if you're trying to get your brand out there to be seen, you got to think about your audience and how they like to take that content. So that's why we have on here video and podcasting, because you want to hit two of the major senses, the visual and the auditory. So for me, for those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofiño. I've been a passionate HR executive for 3 decades now. I'm a LinkedIn top voice, a recently children's book author, international bestselling, Miranda Max. Check it out on Amazon because Brady and Lucky, the one-eyed cat, is coming very soon. And these are part of the backyard adventures that I do. Just a side project I did that I've wanted for 20 years. That doesn't necessarily go with my brand, but in a way it does, because family values and family is a big part of my brand, and that touches on it. But I also work at PRB as the head of HR and development and culture there. And it's a nonprofit that does a lot of work with data and research. So that, along with all that I do here on LinkedIn with these amazing co-hosts here on Saturdays, with Melissa on Sundays, with Sumana and Ashley on Mondays, these are things that have over time grown and developed that I chose to do because they supported my brand. If someone said, hey, I want to do a podcast about car mechanics and motorcycles, will you do it with me? I'd be like, talk to my son. That's not my wheelhouse. Somebody will get into an accident or mess up their vehicle if you ask my advice. But if the audience was, oh, we want someone who doesn't know anything about mechanics on the show, great, that's wonderful. But the reality is, try to stay in your wheelhouse. Doesn't mean don't experiment. You definitely want to experiment, because that's how you do grow. But like we always say, take calculated risk, take calculated experiments. So here's what I mean. So here's some 5 things that you can do just to start off experimenting. And we'll talk about some of the benefits, and we want to hear some of your stories about what you've had success with. Even things that you were maybe hesitant about, that you were like, that's not what I want to do, because sometimes outside factors change. Prime example, many of us met on Clubhouse, which was an audio-only platform. LinkedIn jumped in and said, hey, we're going to create LinkedIn Audio. We jumped over to LinkedIn Audio. We loved LinkedIn Audio. Great platform for audio. All of a sudden, LinkedIn says, guess what? We're going to cancel LinkedIn Audio. You got to use live stream if you want to do it from now on. A lot of people said, oh, I don't want to do live stream. I don't want to be on camera. That's not my cup of tea. A lot of people stopped doing audio rooms. There was a large people that just exited. And then there were some of us that said, okay, let's experiment and try. Let's see what it's like. Let's jump on the bandwagon and just experiment. And that's what I mean by experimenting. I was not a fan of it because I liked the flexibility of the audio, not having to be on camera, not having to make sure I didn't have anything like the bottle of whiskey behind me from last night or whatever it is, small things that you want to make sure that stick with your brand, And so, and by the way, I don't like whiskey. I like tequila. Let's get that straight. But making sure that you take the opportunity. So we took the opportunity, and look at us now. It's been over a year now that we've been on video doing this show, and it's had success. We've had people find opportunities. We've had people get jobs. We've had people connect and collaborate. So there's a lot of benefits to it. But if you don't talk about it, no one's going to know about it. And that's something that's important. So before I get into my 5, I want to hand it over to Martha to do her introductions and say hello to Teddy. And since it's a dog show, Copper, get up a minute. They want to say hi to all the dogs. Here's Copper right here. Copper, say hello.
Hi, Copper. Hi, Bailey. As soon as I come online, Teddy starts doing this. He was so calm before I came on.
Copper's like, am I done? Can I get down? He's like, even y'all side eyes. He's like, I am with you all. All right. Thanks.
Oh, man.
Over to you.
Well, I'm good. I'm doing good. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday. Great to see everybody. And I'm sorry, what was I going to say right now?
Introduce yourself and talk about just your initial thoughts about sharing your brand on video and podcasting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So for friends that don't know me that are here new, my name is Martha. I am a humanitarian. I am running a nonprofit called Connect Impact Hub. And it's voluntarily led. Basically, we're on a mission to end homelessness. And so I am stoked about this conversation because I recently actually came across a new program called School. And it's a pretty cool platform where if anyone's here in the audience that's looking to start their own brand or community, there's a really cool it's an app that you can meet with locals, or you can start your own program there. And so I'm actually looking into that right now, just to connect with other people. So uh, about podcasting, it is nerve-wracking at first. Just putting yourself out there and sharing either your story or your business. It could be challenging, but surround yourself with supportive people. Here at Social Saturday Chat, this is where I started my journey, speaking, just coming up and sharing. And if I messed up, guess what? It's okay. There's no perfect way to speak, to move. Just come on up and introduce yourself and share. That's the first step to podcasting, and then the rest, start building your brand. Um, all of us here started with a blank canvas, and we just started building on that canvas. So I'll pass it back over to you, Felipe. It's great to see everybody, and I will be right back.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Martha, for sharing that. And I think those are great examples of just things that Martha's doing to help promote her brand, to help the community that she's trying to build, to really end homelessness and help the unhoused. So here are 5 things I want you all to think about when you're thinking about promoting your brand. And maybe you're thinking about using video or podcasting to do it. First, if it's something that you feel is too stressful and you can't do it, then try one or the other, but try them both, experiment with them, see which one speaks to you more. I was somebody who never thought podcasting was my thing. I never enjoyed it. The sound of my voice, when you hear it on a recording, I never liked it, so I didn't think other people would like to hear my voice. So video I felt more open to, but then audio came out and I was like, well, let me experiment with it, and I loved it. So now I kind of have a passion for both, but I don't put all my eggs in one basket. And that's one thing that I think is important for everyone to remember, is you want to make sure that if you have opportunities to do both, do it. But here's the thing. So point number 2, you don't have to always do it yourself. And here's what I mean by that. So often people say, oh, I wonder how people get on those podcasts. I wonder how people get on those shows. Well, I got to tell you a little secret here. Here's what you do. You send a message to the person and you say, hey, loved your podcast. Would love to be on your show sometime. Is there a way that guests can sign up? You ask. Simple. Some might say no. Surprisingly, more say yes, especially if they talk about something that you are passionate about. If they're talking about neurodiversity and Joel says, hey, I'd love to talk about it on your show sometime, they research Joel, they're going to say he's passionate about speaking about neurodiversity, great person to have on the show. If we're talking about the unhoused, Martha, talking about HR, recruiting, workplace, me. But if I started saying, oh, I want to talk about mechanics again, yeah, you don't talk about mechanics. You don't seem to say anything about mechanics. Why would we want you on our show? So make sure you're looking at the right people, but ask. First and foremost, just go out there and ask. Third thing, the invites. People send out invites all the time. You'd be shocked at how many people don't even respond to an invite to be a guest on someone's show. People are usually planning out their entire calendar year if they have regular guests on their show, whether weekly or monthly. People get scared when they get invited. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. Look, here's a little thing that I want people to realize. 10 years ago, there'd be a lot of other barriers that you had. Today, I'm going to call a little BS if you say there's too many barriers, because guess what? The majority of us have had practice being on video. After the pandemic, that went the cat's out of the bag. We were working on video. We were talking to family on video. Guess what? You are comfortable on video, okay? If you come up with reasons why you're not, you're talking yourself out of it. So allow yourself to take those risks, to accept those invitations, all right? The other thing is, and this is hard for people sometimes have a hard time talking about themselves. I like to learn about other people. I like to ask questions about other people. It took me a long time to understand, if I don't mention what I'm doing, no one's going to know about it. And I started realizing people were like, oh, I didn't know you've been doing that for 10 years. How did you not know? Because you never talked about it. So it's something that you have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and talk about what you do and what your brand is. Now, here's a little trick, not to get annoying. Don't bring it up when nobody asked about it or there's nothing relevant to, kind of the conversation to bring it up with. But take those opportunities. If someone is talking about, oh, I saw this unhoused person, I felt so horrible, we gave them our leftover dinner, Martha could jump in like, you know what, that's amazing you do that. I run this, organization that does all this work. Boom, 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 boom. She's now talking about her brand and what she does. But she waited for that right opportunity. So it's looking for those opportunities to speak about it, but you gotta do it. And you gotta practice how you're gonna say it, because if it takes you 15 minutes to explain what you do, you're gonna lose people fast. So fast. And then the fifth thing, which was, I can't read my own handwriting, what I wrote down. I think I tried to abbreviate what I was going to say. Oh, no, that was experiment. I'm sorry. Okay, I know where I went. Sorry. So promote yourself, make sure you promote yourself. And the last one is this. If you are truly trying to build a brand and you feel like you've knocked out some of these things already, the one that you can wait until later is the visuals of your brand. If you're going to be on a video and you can do a background, have your logo in your background. Have something about what you do in the background. Start, if you want to build a website, if you want to build a company page, those things, when you're on video or a podcast, if people say, how can I connect with you? Email me, great, but you want to give people other options. Look at me at LinkedIn, Instagram, look at me on my website, whatever it is, you give them this opportunity to see, or give them a QR code that takes them to something that you have, or if you are comfortable sharing your email address, share that email address. But you got to give that almost like call to action. How can they follow up? Because if people hear you and like what you're saying, you don't know how to get a hold of you, the brand is only 95%. The last 5% is crucial. So I'm going to stop there because, again, it's scary. But I can tell you, for someone who never thought I'd be doing this, the benefits of it, and I know we all talk about this too, is you learn new skills that you never thought you'd learn. I've learned how to do graphic design. I've learned how to do editing. I learned how to do video editing. I've learned how to do podcasting. Things, skills that I never thought I would ever have under my belt, and now are people coming to me and asking me to help them. So it's amazing when you get a new skill that isn't necessarily part of your normal world, and it opens up ideas where you can use that skill in your normal world. All right, I'll stop there and head over to you, Martha. Please share some of your experiences with video podcasting, tips that you have for people, recommendations, do's, and maybe some don'ts, especially. And don't give it to Joel next.
Yeah, for me, like I still struggle sometimes with being on a video. And like when you go live, everything can't be perfect. And it is a struggle sometimes. But what I appreciate when I come into the lives and I'm seeing other people speak is it's okay. It's actually really beautiful to see um, when a human error happens live, because it just shows, hey, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. So I'm just embracing those little bumps that come up when you're live on a podcast. Like today, I continue to have internet issues here. The internet is just bad. But I still came in, even though I was late. So I do apologize for that. um, and I was going to say something else, but it just kind of went away. So I'm going to pass it over to Joel. And when it comes back, I'll come back and share. Joel?
Yes, I've been there recently. I had a drink of whiskey and didn't really help much. I thought it would do, but there we go. Um, my first podcasting journey was, well, I didn't like sharing either. First when I first joined, and then Matt got me into it, and I was addicted after that. And for those of you who saw the early stuff, which when I first, that's when I first knew Mac. Um, there was no off switch, as he found out, and that, there I got a dog, and everything changed. But
But that's great that he pushed you. I mean, that
yeah,
encouragement got you out of your comfort zone. And obviously, if you didn't like it, you would have stopped. But clearly, look at you now. I mean, you've gone to New York. You've been able to jam with a band. You've been able to speak at events. And I do think a lot of that confidence came from you doing these things. Would that be accurate?
yes,
There you go. I just put a link in for people to join us in the chat or in the page. So feel free to come up on stage if you want to share some of your experiences. But, Martha, you brought up something about being perfect that I want to touch on because one, there is no such thing as perfect. Let's just put that out there first. Nothing's perfect. Because the moment you think something's perfect, I guarantee you somebody else can come by and have a different opinion. That's what their version of perfect is. So throw that out the window. Do you want it to be the best possible? Absolutely. But here's a tip that gets the nerves out. That for someone like me, if I want to talk about my brand or talk about the company I work for, I would sweat, I would quiver, my hands would shake. It was visibly obvious that I did not like speaking. You can tell now that I've gotten over that because you can't shut me up. But one of the number one things that helped me was when, besides the fact that they made me do 30 presentations in 30 days, well, there was one person or 50 people. But what really helped was this. When you're talking about a topic that you create the presentation that you're presenting on to a group of 1 or 50, and if you messed up something that you wanted to say, the order, or maybe, oh, wait, I forgot to mention something, nobody knows that but you. Nobody. So when people say, oh, wait, wait, let me start over, I screwed up, I didn't mean to say that, don't ever do that. Don't ever stop in the middle of your presentation to say, I screwed up, I messed up, because guess what? I have no idea. If you just keep on going, and you can gradually say, and you know what? Let me go back to this one other thing. I want to make one other point. And you can go back to the thing that you forgot about without sharing that. That takes away all the anxiety of messing up because they don't know you messed up. So I want people to practice that. And the one way you can practice video, podcasting, or your brand is doing what Bill Rochelle just did right now. Coming up on stage and just saying hello, asking one question, and then you can skip back down or stay up. But these are your opportunities. This is why we create the space, is so that people have the opportunities to network, to practice getting out there. A lot of people on the Social Saturday Chat crew were viewers that came up on stage and after being up there a few times, got invited to be part of the team. So, with that being said, Martha, did you want to say something before I hand it over to Bill? Okay. So, Bill, hello, my friend. It's great to see you. I want to see some of those pictures, by the way, that you sent to Houston. I'm curious, too. But it's great to see you, as always. I appreciate you coming up here. Please tell us your experience out branding with video, podcasting. I know you do a lot of this. You definitely have gone through probably all the gambits. So, over to you.
Yeah. Well, first thing I'm going to say is thank you for allowing me to come up. Secondly, I would say, start where you are. Start where you're planted. When I first went on, it was because I was concerned that I was I wanted my energy and my voice to reflect who I was, and I just wanted to connect with people and help them. So every day I just started going on, and then the more nervous I got, the more I would just show up and just pop up and say, "This is my thought of the day," and this is what's on my mind. And it would be unplanned, unrehearsed, unscripted. And I just went with me. And I do want to say this, if you don't mind, Felipe, that I took that thought of the day and I turned it into what I now call breaking news with William Rochelle. And what that allows me to do is to come on when I feel like it, just like you would breaking news. And for the next 10 days, I'm going to do a breaking news highlighting a small business owner. And I'll still have my thoughts within there, but the real goal is to get, and you've seen, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's a 15-minute segment from beginning to end. So, you would have 3 minutes to tell us, who you are and what you're doing and how we can help you, and get more eyes out on a small business that could be struggling, or Martha's cause and what's going on. And I am beginning this with special offers that people can do. Between now and Christmas, if you join, this is what we're going to give you. Or between now and Christmas, Martha, this is how you help the homeless for the holidays, and this is how you can donate. So it's one of those things that I'm using my platform to keep myself stimulated within my mind. But I also believe that it's about featuring other people. And so that's what I'm doing right now to give back. And if anyone like Martha wants to join a breaking news segment, just come in, because I'm looking for those little spots. And I want to highlight just different individuals, not the same people that we see every day. I just want to bring people on. So and get their messages out there. That's it. I think you said I can only have one question, so.
No, you can. I didn't limit you. I said, what questions do you have?
Oh, okay.
Wait. Before you ask that question, I want to speak about what you mentioned, because you made some great points there, and then we'll go to your other question. Is starting with where you are. That's an important thing, okay? Because you look at people like, oh, I want to do what they're doing, and sometimes people jump the gun. And as teenagers, we were very good at jumping the gun. Like, we wanted to buy the newest thing, even though we didn't know how it worked, But to this point, Bill has headphones. He has a microphone. All right. Now, I have a microphone right here. But for the first 4 years I did this, people are like, oh, you have a great mic. What are you using? I'm like, my iPhone.
Me too.
Like, it's a great mic. It's a great mic. So the reason I'm sharing that is I did not invest in any equipment, not ring lights, not microphones, until I knew what I was doing and that I wanted to keep on doing it. Exactly. And Bill demonstrated that. He went on there and started doing it, just be himself, quick things. And then he started saying, okay, now he started thinking I can do more, and got ideas, got equipment, and built from there. But don't invest in something until you know you have a plan or you have equipment.
Start with where you are, right there.
Yeah, exactly. Start with where you are. And then, your ideas. I love this breaking news thing idea. Once you get into your mode, you will have ideas jump at you. I'll share now. This goes into the branding, and I'm going to pass it back to your question here. Is when I first started doing any video on LinkedIn, I didn't want to be by myself. I was like, no. But I interviewed my employees, and I did 2-minute videos of a thing called What's Good Wednesdays. Did I come up with that? Hell no. A radio station here in DC, one of them does What's Good Wednesdays, where they share. And I'm like, I'm going to borrow that. It's not trademarked. And I created it, What's Good Wednesday. And I did a series for 1.5 years of the employees every week of, hey, what's going on this week? It could be about their dog, about their work, whatever. I showed that to somebody, like, proud of, that I was out there, when I was on video. And they said, that's great, but you're promoting the company's brand. What about you? I said, I'm in the video. I'm talking. I'm asking questions. You see me. People know me. They don't know you. They don't know anything about you, because you're not sharing anything about you. And that's where it clicked. And I said, oh, so I got to talk about myself a little bit. and that's uncomfortable. But if you want people to remember you or trust you, you got to open up, and that takes a little bit of courage to be able to be vulnerable enough to be, okay, I'm going to share about myself here, and don't just share the good. Don't be a Facebook person. Share the good and the bad. Sorry to hate on Facebook, but let's be real. People just share, oh, look at that great everything looks all the time, So let's be vulnerable so people get to know you. Because once they get to know you and trust you, that's when they start to listen to you and they start coming back. And that's what you want for your brand, is to have that trust of, hey, I trust that brand because they give good advice, or they always are there for me, or whatever it is. So, Bill, thank you for sparking that great spark. What was your second question?
Me? Oh, I want to tie something back. So Martha and everyone out there, if you do want to be on breaking news, put that in the headline, because I get tons of emails every day. So put breaking news, and then I'll sort it by that. The other thing that I struggled with, first, start where you are. For instance, with Felipe's show right now, this is not how I would want to be dressed, but this is where I'm at. And so the opportunity showed up, and I was like, just go on.
It's not Felipe's show.
I'm sorry, a Social Saturday.
Show, and if it's anybody's show, it's probably Max. He's the OG of this.
I apologize for that. I apologize for that. But I found it hard, or vacillated between how much of myself I wanted to share. And I started listening to other people, and my world started opening when I started opening up. And there were things that I was sharing with Felipe in our private section, but then started sharing it publicly. And, we just kind of worked through it online. And it's really changed my life, because people have entered my life that did not with judgment, but with, I see you and let me help you. And I've shared that piece of the journey throughout. So there are good things and bad things. And I'm also multifaceted. So I've chosen to be multifaceted, but on different platforms. So I have my LinkedIn audience, which is great, and I love it, and it's fantastic, and it's rolling, and now I'm working on YouTube. Now YouTube is done. Now I'm moving on to Substack. And so I'm clocking everything, right? And each platform, you get a different version of myself. So Substack is super raw. So, and then YouTube is kind of in the middle.
Well, and that's a great point there, Bill, because I think that you got to go with the audience and other platforms. I mentioned earlier, I wrote a children's book. The one place I wasn't promoting it was on Facebook. That was the OG social media, where high school friends, college friends, colleagues that I knew and that still know me today are still on there. Why wouldn't I share about what I'm doing with them? They might be my biggest supporters. All the other people might be haters, that's fine, but I have a lot of people that I'm still connected with just because they're on Facebook. They're not bad people, obviously. So yeah. So, and I kind of like I hate Facebook. It's just changed a lot. But Bill, thank you for that. That was great insight. Want to get to David and Leslie, but did Martha, Joel, did you have any comments about Bill's share before we move on?
If you don't know Bill, please connect. It's like you're getting a huge little hug, actually a big hug from a bear, because every time I hear you, you actually uplift us. So thank you for being here today and for spreading love. And I've been to many of your shows. Sometimes I don't say that I'm in the room, but I'm there listening, and I see you and I appreciate you, and just
Thank
continue
you.
the journey.
Tomorrow is going to be an epic show with Leslie Flowers, and the intro is fire, and I do not filter it. So be ready
Ooh,
for that.
okay. I'm looking forward.
Awesome too. And by the way, Bill, I want you to do, Bill. I want you to go back after this session, and I want you to listen to what Martha just told you to get again. And I want you to sit with that and hear that, because you make a huge impact.
I appreciate that so much, Martha. But so has Martha, because Martha, I've never forgotten you. You were one of the first guests on my show. I don't even know if you remember that. It was when I was first starting out. And I've always wanted you to come back. So I'm really glad I showed up, because I really want you on the breaking news segment.
All right. So your breaking news, DM Bill or William Rochelle on LinkedIn, aka Bill. Joel, any feedback before we move on?
I've gone blank now.
Can I share something really quick? I'll be
Yeah.
fast, I promise. Bill, you truly have inspired me. I just really want you to know that. Uh, Me and Joel had a conversation outside of LinkedIn and about a certain couple medical conditions that have come up. And Joel's like, you need to start sharing about that. And it's like you just speaking up today. I just want you to know it's touched my heart.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I appreciate it.
All right. I'm loving all this great conversation. And everyone in the audience, great to see Aaron and Jane and Kenneth and Melanie Richards and Jeremy, my friend, and Leanna. Wow, we had a lot of people that joined us. So great to see all of y'all. The link is in the chat. I will actually put it in there right now again if y'all want to join us because after this, after Leslie, and hopefully we'll get who's the other person that was up here? No, I see Jay. No, it was
Yeah.
Jay, Leslie, and there's
Oh, David was up
David.
here. I don't know where
Yeah,
he went.
yeah. So David, if you're there, come back on up. But I just put the link in there, so feel free to join us up there. And with that being said, Leslie Flowers, thank you for being so patient. Great to see you here, my friend. Great video or live with oh my God, with Bill. I really enjoyed that conversation you had with them. But how are you today, and what are your thoughts about this conversation?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm so glad I'm here. Usually I'm gone at this hour with my son or daughter for lunch each week. And as you guys know, I'm not driving anymore. So that's why I haven't been here at noon. But today it's kind of, it's foggy and 40 degrees. And we just had a little ice yesterday. What I would say about this, I love the conversation, of course. Now, I'm rounding about 50, 100, 200 shows in 2 years, roughly. And I do Mondays and Fridays. And I am now a machine. And what those shows are all about my message. So, what, so it is the consistency once you get past all the nerves and the technical part, then you can really focus on your message. And I'm not really, I know this is going to sound weird. I like money like everybody, but I have worked all my life and I am in a place right now where I can just teach. Then I've got some stuff that changes lives. That's really all I want to do. So, what I'll be doing this next year is adding in more of an experiential feel, right? And I was going to say, once someone gets good at this, then they could have an intro or an outro. I mean, I even tried my hand at it to kind of elevate, but it's all me and my brand, right? It's what I teach. And I'm just grateful to be there. Um, and it's consistency, isn't it? I mean, once you get over that first hump, then the next time isn't as difficult. And I did take a client a couple of years ago through 12 weeks in my course, and she was super afraid to speak in public, really, really shy. But she had a big message in healthcare. So, together as my client, I produced her show each week and taught her how to speak into the microphone and to look into the camera as though it's the person she loves. And she started out with papers and shaking, and I fielded the comments and I coached her from the back. Just now, since that time, she has done it every single week. It's been 2 years now, and in 12 weeks of being consistent, right, and putting yourself out there, she is masterful in the studio. So I like what Bill said, start where you are, For me, you'll find only me at both of my shows. One is about study, and the other one is about hosting guest teachers on Monday, because I've discovered that we're all telling the same or saying the same message. The messages are evolving, we're evolving, our listening is changing as we grow. So we've got to hear things from the same concepts from many different teachers. Then we can pick which viewpoint most resonates with us, because sometimes, people don't click with you or they don't click with me. So Mind Over Matter Mondays is about having a guest teacher, and we spend time together looking for the similarities between how they say it and how I see it. And that way we have a really good conversation. And then Friday is all about Think and Grow Rich, just going deeper, deeper, deeper and practicing. So it kind of sets up bookends for people. And what's so interesting, I thought they were distinct audiences, but I'll end with this. It almost seems like both audiences are the same now, right? It's the same people. And since I'm not really going after money, it's really people that are hungry and thirsty for this information. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this every week. And yeah, that's what I have to share. Thank you for letting me do that.
Well, Leslie, thank you, first of all, for, I don't know if everyone realizes, but Leslie, in her amazing, just subtle way, just gave you all a masterclass. Not only did she demonstrate how well to promote your brand, she did it in such a subtle way that it was just a conversation she was having with us. And I want to highlight that because she talked about things that were part of her value, that were valuable to her. She talked about her purpose. She talked about her experience. She talked about her shows that she has. So from there, you know that she values people more than money. She talks about opportunities to grow and learn. And she told you where to go if you wanted to learn about it. But she didn't sit there and sound like she was selling you on anything. She was just talking about it. And that's why I want you to realize you have to get to that level of being comfortable. Now, she started off saying that, whatever down, a machine, that she's a machine that, well, a lot of us, yeah, this is a machine that we're running right now because we've been doing it for years. Once you get the machine running, once you actually get the hard work done, then work on, I'm not going to say the fluff, we're going to talk about the aesthetics. The audio sound, the background images or the visualizations, the intro videos, the intro songs, the outros. Yeah. These are all nice amenities, but if you kick off with all the flashy lights without any valuable messaging, people aren't going to stick around. And that's where I think all the people that have been doing it, Martha, Joel, Leslie, Bill, myself, we all shared about, we started off basic. And as we realized we were doing something that was working, that we enjoyed, we built on it, and then we started enhancing it with the visuals. Just this past year, after 5 years of doing this, I just started creating a video intro. This year, I added a song intro to that video. You know, so it grows in time. It doesn't have to be right now. Start where you're at. Well, I'm saying that, and Leslie, you inspired me as you were talking, that I came up with a Felipe 5. And not only that, Felipe 5 is part of my brand. I talk about it all the time. It's sort of 5 things that I want to highlight, 5 recommendations, 5 tips. I just came up with Felipe 5, and it spelled out a weird acronym. So as you are thinking about promoting your brand, these are the 5 things I took away from Leslie, and it spells out scratch. I don't even know if the word scratch is a word, but it sounds like it could be scratch. And it stands for, think about touching the senses, being consistent, being real, knowing your audience, and being tenacious. Wow. So those are 5 things I took away from you, Leslie. Thank you for inspiring me with that. And scratch there might be a better word than scratch. I don't know.
Thank you for the opportunity. You're very kind. One tiny thing I'll say about this. I, even though I've noticed a difference in myself when not going for money was completely off the table, because always in the background, right? Even sometimes now, I know I can help, but I don't like dealing with all that. So by taking the money off the table, I can totally be in the teaching and right inside there's no interruption about ego and right, oh, I wonder if they'll buy, and oh, this audience, right? So it's not a big change, but it's a relief. I'll leave it with that. It's a relief, and
Thank
I'm so grateful to be alive, to have gotten to this point. I mean, I'm not rich at all, right? I'm rich in many things, and I have enough to take my grandkids out, to give back. I don't live a lavish life, and I never have, but just not worrying about that is life changing, I will tell you.
And that's why I think making money a priority in your life, it can lead you down a dark path. We all need money to survive.
Yeah.
We have
Yes.
to be realistic. We just can't make it the all or nothing. So great message, Leslie. Thank you. Martha, any thoughts on Leslie's share? And then Martha, go ahead and introduce Jay, if you wouldn't mind, after you share about Leslie.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Leslie, for coming up and sharing. I know many of us, we're chasing money or because we need it for survival. But I have come across a lot of shares also here on LinkedIn. I'm also a YouTuber University person that goes and watches, where I've seen people that just come and share what they're going through at this current stage in life, and just sharing your story, and the money will come. Just know, just put your heart and mind in the right place, and everything will fall into place. I'm telling you from my personal experience, it will work out. So with that, thank you so much, Leslie.
Good.
And Jay, welcome. Please share whatever your heart wants to share today with us.
Yeah, hi guys, nice to be here again. I'm I'm really excited to be here. This is like a great topic about, you know, promoting your brand and podcasting. Um, one thing I want to share is that I think when you're like doing an event or you're doing any sort of event, one thing that comes to mind is that when you sharing your story, you want to not just make it about yourself, but you also want to make the conversation fun and interesting. And I'll give you one example. So I don't know if any of you have seen this on my post. I created a no on my LinkedIn page. I created a post promoting. Oh no, we lost Felipe. No, I created um a post in regards to an event I'll be doing on Zoom. And this event will consist of superheroes and leadership. And this is something I wanted to do because this is a topic that really resonates with all of us, not just in the workplace, but everywhere in our lives. And what kind of gave me the idea is that if I do something, this is my first time doing an event like this. I've never done something like this before. I always thought of it as something to make it fun and interesting, and the topic I'm going to be talking about with the audience is how superheroes have a big impact on our leadership these days. And so I'll be doing that with, I think Felipe knows her. Her name is Kimberly Lederick, and I'll be doing it with some other connections. And so, that's the key. And again, Leslie said something that's very interesting. You're not doing this to gain money. You're doing this to gain some um, some experience. And I think by doing events like this on your own and trying to see if your connections are willing to help you either co-host or be part of the audience, you really resonating with the audience and you're trying to uh, start up a discussion. And I think that's the key when you're sharing your story, when you're talking about topics that impact your everyday life, and um, make the conversation fun and interesting. You want to be able to get more connections when you resonate with others and when you make your story very interesting, fun, inspirational, exciting. Those are the types of characteristics I like to think about when I do these kinds of events or when I get participate in these types of chats like Social Saturday or in my diversibility organization or even in the CCHS organization. So I think that's what I want to share on this. I'm curious to hear some feedback.
Well, congratulations, Jay, on your event that's coming up in June. That's huge. And just to see you evolving, you coming to Social Saturday chat and speaking and just being present. Thank you. I've seen a huge growth in you, Jay, and the confidence is whoo-hoo, it's like shining through. um, so thank you so much for joining us and coming up to share. Be authentic. Just be yourself.
It's actually next week, Martha, not in June. So I think that's what I want to share on this.
Oh,
I'm
Aaron,
curious
can you hit mute? I'm sorry. I think you have your mic. Uh, Thank you. So, Jay, I love what you shared. I think congratulations again on that. I look forward to seeing you on there with Kimberly, and I love the topic you're tackling. And I think it's important. Jay's a great example of someone that has slowly gotten himself comfortable coming up on the show, speaking, taking his time to do it. And again, it's at your own pace. You can't, don't rush it. Do it as you're ready. And I want, before we go to Aaron, I want to talk about boundaries real quick because as Jay was talking, we all talk about boundaries a lot. The one thing I always remind people is that the biggest violator of our boundaries is us. We're always like, oh, I'm not going to do any of this today. I'm going to focus on this. And someone comes by, oh, can you help me with this today? Okay, I'll help you. They didn't violate your boundary because they didn't know. You violated your own boundary. So I encourage you all to make sure that you don't sit there and burn yourself out because you're trying to do too much. Melissa Houston and I have a show that we do called Career Chaos and Coaching. We argue on the show on purpose. If we disagree, we have fun arguing because people enjoy that. Our audience enjoys that. But when she said, hey, let's make this a weekly thing, I said, I don't think I can do weekly. I think that bi-weekly is going to work better for me. I don't think I have the bandwidth, and I think it would stress me out. And she's like, I respect that, and we've kept it that way. So I encourage you all to keep that consistently going that way because I think it's important to make sure that you can make it sustainable by not burning yourself out. And I love the part about having guests. That's always a plus thing. But getting a guest for every show can be stressful, you all. So make sure that you plan ahead if you're going to do guests. Okay, Jake, quickly, because we have two other guests. Go ahead.
Yeah, just one more thing. You actually touched on something that I was actually going to talk about, which is planning. Always plan ahead before you want to do an event. And if you're not sure as to what to say, take down some notes, get some ideas from your audience members. Maybe they will inspire you, and that's how you can, prepare for the show. So I'll just end it right there.
And as you learn, fail fast. If something didn't work, don't beat yourself up. What did you learn from it? And improve on it next time. All right, Mr. Aaron Gibson, you have joined us. Thank you for coming up on the show. It's great to see you as always. You are another person who's been doing this for a long time. You've got some lessons learned, I'm sure. What are your thoughts? Over to you.
Take your time. Take your time every time. Don't remember that it takes a while to build up to a certain level, and that you're working up to that level. So I know that there's a lot of people, when I was going through this and developing a lot of my videos, you put that question out there is, are they going to like it? Are they going to receive it? And if you're putting your heart into these things, then the right people are going to find it. So this is a topic so close to my home because when I had no money, this is exactly how I built my brand, which was literally working day in, day out off of my phone. Little 2-3 minutes here, and that made my studio, rather than being forced to just automatically work out of a studio all the time, I was able to work anywhere. So if I had 2 or 3 minutes in between a job, that I could put together a little bit more on the video, or I could put this together, or I could discover new apps to help apply to make these videos more engaging and more received, right? And it's about portraying that image or message in your videos so that you really get people to focus on one portion of it. One thing I like to do is obviously throw the lyrics. If I'm wanting people to really hear a message, I'll drop a lot of my visuals just so that they can watch the actual words go across the page so that they can start to really digest what I'm trying to say to them.
I love it. That was just some gold nuggets you dropped there. Aaron, when I met you, I think it was about 4 years ago. I remember I asked you because I didn't realize that you were the producer for for Nancy and Brian's show. Oh my God, the Wednesday show. What's it called?
What's Good Wednesday? That's why I was giggling when you brought it up. That's why I was like, oh, I got to go talk to Felipe.
Yeah. And that's what attracted me to that, because when I mentioned the What's Good Wednesday, I saw them doing it on LinkedIn, and I said, let me check this out. This sounds interesting. And Aaron was behind the scenes. When I asked Aaron, how do you do all this stuff? It's like, I just took my time. And I remember you saying that. I took my time to learn it. And I wanted to have the studio he had. I wanted to have like the neat signs he had. And he's like, don't rush it. Learn it first. And that's why I think it's an important thing to make sure that you do is know your purpose, know your brand before you buy all the bells and whistles. Don't try to be that person that is buying, the guy who has all the Porsche jackets and hats, but he doesn't own a Porsche. Yeah, it doesn't really work. So, and the last thing I'll share before we go to me is somebody very important told me this one time when I was worried about, oh, I need to post something today. I'm like, why? Like, well, because I always post on Tuesdays, and someone's like, you're not that important that the world is going to fall apart if you don't post, and no one's life's going to change dramatically if you don't post. So I'm like, oh, you're right. And it's like it kind of took off that release. So so I want to make sure people know that it's your journey, go at your speed. And I love that Aaron said that. So thank you for the amazing insight, Aaron. Amit, thank you for joining us. I'd love to hear from you, my friend. You're a new guest up here.
Yeah, hello. Actually, I have been listening to this show quite a while, but I'm Ami from Israel, and talking about work, money, and stuff. I have a YouTube channel called Sharepoint Wizard, and I actually I started just as documenting all kinds of technical things, so I could refer back. And what happened is that made me a Microsoft MVP. If I'm already 3 years Microsoft MVP, that it actually recognize my contribution and sharing of knowledge to the Microsoft community. And now my YouTube has like 5,000 subscribers and more than 1,300,000 views. What I do is actually 5 minutes of videos, just recording one I record it in one set. Yeah. Just think what I'm want to do, prepare it in advance, and then publish it, and that's it. So, and I've been doing it quite often, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. And yeah, my motto was, if I can help one person in the world and he can find it so fast, that I'm fine with it, and I do it as a passion and hobby. I don't the whole idea actually of MVPs is any contribution you do should not be a part of work. Okay, it needs to be out of work. So actually all what MVPs do is volunteering after work and on the free time on the weekends, And so yeah, and I'm enjoying it. And to tell you the truth, even if I would not receive this MVP, I would continue in doing it no matter what. So it just was loving technology, loving to share with people, um, and that's the whole idea. And I'm happy it's succeeding. And if you get some money, pennies from it, then why not? But that's not the motto. So this is what I wanted to say. And yeah, um, and it's much harder to get views when you're on a very specific technology wise. Because if I would talk about mountain bike riding or something like that, there would be millions of people that would be interested. But when I talk about a certain technology, then maybe it's much more limited. But that what makes my brand more special. And I only want people that we understand what I'm talking to subscribe. I don't want anyone else to subscribe because it's not relevant for them and it won't give them any benefit. So that's my 10 cents.
That was much more than 10 cents. I mean, that was very valuable. And first of all, congratulations on Microsoft MVP for, you said 3 or 5 years?
3 years, 3 years.
That's huge. That is, and you did such a wonderful job. Again, like Leslie, just sharing your story and letting us know what your passion is, what you do well, what you've been recognized for, and where you can find it. And you mentioned a few things. The short content, that's important. Look, the days of 8-hour training classes or 2-hour videos, people are not going to watch it nowadays. People want short, digestible content. So if you're trying to share, especially educational or learning information, you want to do it digestible so that people can see, oh, I do like this. Then you can have the longer versions somewhere too, that if they want more content, they know where to find it. But when you're promoting your brand, give them short snippets, just a little window, a little taste, if you will. It's like eat that one Lay's chip and you're gonna want more, kind of thing. But you also talked about the YouTube channel, which is really important because we're on LinkedIn. We all talk about how much we love LinkedIn. If I tried to put YouTube videos on about what I was saying when I started doing all this 5-7 years ago, oh God, those videos would not have been good. And I'm kind of glad they're not on there. We waited until we had gotten our format down. And now the videos I have on there, they're well produced. They're clear, most of them. They're crisp and they have a good message behind it and thought behind it. So again, don't rush to have it perfect because it doesn't exist. Just a little bit of time, learn from others, ask people. You have people here that do production like Aaron, that knows Microsoft like me, that is doing this first live like Jay, or has been doing it a while like Joel, Martha, and myself. And I want to go back to the money thing. One more thing, I'm going to hand over to Martha, and we're going to wrap up here. Is we all talk about how giving back, we have to give back, but let's be honest. In the back of your head, have a plan of what you want, what you could do with this in the future. I've been giving back for the last 10 years on LinkedIn just because people helped me out. But in the back of my head, I thought, one of the benefits of me doing this is when I retire, if I want to start charging people to make some money on the side, I've built my reputation and my brand that people hopefully won't question whether I'm worth the money. That's already been established by my brand and the work I've done these past 10 years. And so there's a lot of that. People don't always want to take the time to build that trust and that reputation and that brand. They just want to start charging off the bat. That doesn't always work. That's not the best recipe for a business. So you got to put it to work in. And sometimes if you're lucky, you can make money off it right from the get-go. But other times you got to really build on that brand so that people know what they're buying into. So with that being said, Martha, what are your final thoughts about me or anybody else to share? And what do you have coming up? And
Well,
then Joel.
yeah, I mean, thank you so much for coming up and sharing. I'm sure many of the audience that's here with us today were inspired by everyone's share because we need to start somewhere. And how can we monetize too, right? Like Felipe was just talking about. I know I mentioned earlier school, SKOOL. you can start a community there. You can obviously monetize there also. And then on YouTube, the more views you get, that's another way of monetizing. So I hope that you guys can share your YouTube channels here in the comments of the page here, so we can all follow one another and support each other, because I think that's what community is all about. And I'm going to pass it back to Joel for any closing thoughts. For me, I don't have anything coming up. I will be back here next Saturday, and I will be sharing a couple of things on LinkedIn. So just look out for those posts. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Martha. I have got nothing this week. Very boring, I know. I haven't got any more YouTube guests, unfortunately, yet. Still trying to get a hold of some, but not responding right now. Just done a latest YouTube video, but YouTube, if you want to get things started with no expectations, YouTube is probably one of the best platforms to do, because, well, you know where you stand with them. They set their criteria. You know what the criteria is. You go into YouTube with already expecting not to make anything until you hit the criteria. So YouTube, for many people, and it's free. So YouTube, many people would probably benefit more by in getting introducing yourself to camera, speaking to the camera without any added pressure of, oh, I'm making money now. What do I do now? So yeah, go on YouTube. Well, I believe YouTube actually started as many moons ago. Started as a dating site, I believe, and then moved on to cat videos. I think that's what that. I think that's. I think that.
I don't.
Actually,
I'm gonna question that. I haven't heard that. If that's true, I'll be shocked.
Search it, Felipe. I think that's what. It actually started a dating platform.
No.
I'm not joking.
No.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
I'm gonna challenge that. We'll come back next week to find out who's right. But,
I'm not joking. You.
Well, and thank you for Amit, for putting the link to his channel. That's, again, these platforms here, certain shows that are like networking, like we're trying to do. We encourage you to share your links to things. We want you all to get to know each other. There are other shows that may not be appropriate to do that. This is the place. We are encouraging you to share what you're doing. Just don't be rude about it. Some people are rude about it sometimes, but I love what you are doing here. We appreciate you. We got one last minute guest up here on stage. Elizabeth is joining us. So Elizabeth, you will get the last minute of the show. Thank you for joining us. What question or insight do you want to share about this topic? Looks like Elizabeth, her reception is not strong. It only says 16%. Elizabeth, you want to try again? I don't know if you have your mic on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm coming. Do I have the mic on? Okay. I just haven't used this platform before. So usually I come up on like StreamYard or YouTube. So anyways, I podcast as well. So, and I know a lot of people in the audience, and it's just really good friends. And so that's the basis of how I measure my success through any sort of podcasting, is just the amount of like wonderful people I have met through different platforms. Really started in LinkedIn like about 3 years ago. And when everyone was just coming out of like a COVID fog and like getting divorced and like I want to kill myself. But then you find some people that are wonderful and have different viewpoints. And so if I give any advice, it's really listen to those different viewpoints, because that enriches you so much. And I am so grateful to have a couple, like probably at least five people I've met in real life. And I've helped probably, I would say, six people in crisis that have called me. And they just want someone to talk to. I am not a therapist or a coach or anything like that. I own a small construction company, and so and then I write, but that's, I guess, how I made it in here. But it's really nice to open yourself up to such a diverse group of people, and also a really quality group of people, because it is hard to find quality people online. Hey, I'm on Bumble. And not great. And YouTube did start out initially thinking they were going to be a dating platform where they'd share pictures. So someone is right. And also, then they went to video shorts, and then they got bought out so quickly by Microsoft or Google or Apple, one of those. And now it's just all my kids watch. It's just like.
All right. Well, I was wrong, so you didn't have to find out until next week. So there you go.
I googled it, so it's just to see, because I was like, I don't remember that either. I just remember them for their little videos, or I thought it was kind of more like what was the website that had, they were also a video website, but like there were little clips of videos, like Vines.
Maybe, yeah, that was out for a little bit. Yeah.
Vines. I thought it was more like Vines, but no, it did. That was the initial thought process.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Elizabeth, and thank you for coming up. And I do agree with you. I think that it's building that community and finding those right people to be in. That really is something that helps support your brand. One of the best things that one of the signs of success of your brand is when people are talking about it when you're not in the room. That's when you've had some success of having your brand resonate when people are talking about it when you're not around. So thank you for coming up here, Elizabeth. And thank you all for just taking the time to spend with us today. We hope you got something out of it. Tell us in the chat, what was your one takeaway that you got from today? And let us know, and hopefully you found it helpful. As far as for me, what I have coming up, I'm about to post right after we finish here today. I'm posting it late, but Monday's Workplace Wellness Hour. It's our holiday special, last room of the year, and we will be doing that with Shmana Jetty and Ashley Llewellyn, and that'll be on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be our final show of the year, again, the holiday special. And then I'm back here next Saturday with this amazing crew here, and then the following Sunday, Melissa Houston and I do have careers, casting, coaching, so we'll be back to that one. So thank you, everyone, for a great Saturday. Hope you all found some value, and go out there and just start taking that next step of where you are in your journey, and use something you learned today to move forward. Stay safe, stay kind, and be happy, everyone. Hope you have a great holiday season.
Good night. I go wrong using a teeny bit of AI help. I'm sorry. It's there. I just use some help. So that's my only thing. And then also some of the people who have really contributed to like me coming here, and I just keeping the word out about different podcasts. I so value you, and you guys know who you are, and I am very grateful for people just doing that grunt work, saying, hey, this is on, if you have a free minute after lunch, stop over.
Yeah,
I loved what you said.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth, and Milcast and Kenny, if you're like that, share and let us know when other people are having rooms, and we do appreciate that. So thank you, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Adios.